Hey, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. And today I'm sharing with you how to create an online store using Wix. We're going to cover that today. Okay, let's get started. Once you log in with Wix, you can use Facebook to log in. You can create a user account. It doesn't matter. You can create your first site. So I'm going to create a first site here. That is going to open up here. And we can decide what kind of site we want to create. So do we want to create a business site, a designer site, a blog, portfolio, etc. We're going to say an online store. Now you could go through this ADI, Wix ADI, which is basically answering questions in order to create this site. That could be an easy way to get started. Or we could just set up using the editor. So I'm just going to use the editor because I kind of like more of the old school way of doing this. So I'm going to look here through some of these themes and decide the one that's going to be a good fit for me. So let's just say that we're selling something like arts and crafts supplies here. This is a good one. I'm going to click this one just to decide. I'm going to click view. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Man, that's interesting. Maybe something a little bit better though that kind of pops a little bit more. So I'm going to choose, let's just say this one. We'll look here. Okay, that's kind of cool. It's a little bit more minimalistic looking. Let's just choose this one just to give you an example here. So I'm gonna click edit. So I also, by the way, while this is loading, I have another tutorial out there on how to create a Shopify store, which goes through how to set it up from a tutorial standpoint, how to add products, how to do all that kind of stuff. So go and check out that one if you haven't already. Okay, so this loaded now. This will basically show you the bare bones of what the store looks like. Now, when you're setting up your first e-commerce store, the biggest question that I get is like, okay, I got the thing. Now, like, what do I do with it, right? The way to get started with that is to just create a simple Google Drive folder or a Dropbox folder, something that's publicly accessible or that you can share with other people, and just add a bunch of media assets to that folder. So things like your photos, things like video, really anything that you're going to need when it comes to filling in the content of a website. The other thing you're going to want to do is start to write out what are the products you're going to be selling and the accompanying photos that are with those products. And if you can, some kind of a description, which you're going to fill in when you go into the store. This happens, it's a lot easier just to do it all and add it to like a text folder and then later just copy and paste when it comes to the page. I find that to be the easiest one. Now you might be different, but as you're scrolling down here, you can see how all of this content is editable. So we could just double click here and we could change it from being, probiotic. We'll just say this is like Sal's magic formula. You can change if you want to I forgot to mention all of the like fonts and the bolding, underlined, spacing. There are different font effects you can have. This is really a drag and drop kind of a builder, which is different than Shopify. Shopify is a little bit more, working from the editor. This is more, I think, touch kind of point and click a little bit more. So in that way, I do like this a little bit more, but also, honestly, it's a bit of a slower editor, I find, than Shopify's. And you're going to have to customize a lot more. So like if you don't have, 8 product images to fill here, you're going to have to rearrange this. You're going to have to connect your Instagram feed. If you don't have an Instagram feed, that could be difficult. If you don't have an image to put here, that could be difficult. So you do need to customize the look and feel of this document and kind of get into what you want to do, and also some of the menu items here, right? So you might not have all of these things, but this is going to be one of the most crucial parts of setting up your store is organizing all of your products. So we might want to rename this from instead shop all, or we want for the home. Maybe this is going to be for the work, right? We gotta edit all of these items going forward, and you're going to want to customize this. Now we can also add things, right? So on the left here, we could add images, we could add buttons, decorative things, boxes, menus. You could embed content, you could add blog stuff, all these kinds of things we can add to the actual Wix store. We can also do other things here. You can see here, if we scroll down here, you can look at the app marketplace. Now the app marketplace would be to install functionality onto your store, which is not already just with Wix, right? So Wix, obviously they can't include everything when it comes to their store. So they work with different developers in order to create apps, which you can decide whether or not to install on your store. For example, pricing plans. If you want to offer subscriptions, memberships, different pricing plans, you could do that with the Pricing Plan app. Visitor analytics. If you want to get more in-depth analytics into your visitors, you can use that with this application. If you wanted something like a site booster to boost traffic from search engines, you could use that. You could attach this to Printful or smart pop-ups and forms and those kinds of things, retargeting online ads. There's a lot of good stuff here. If you want to connect Wix books for scheduling, calendar things or that kind of stuff, or a forum, there's all these great applications which you can use to interact with your store, and that's all in this apps section. Other things that you can do would be starting to add different media to the folder. You can start to write on the blog. We can go right to the store and you can get started. You can create different product galleries, that kind of stuff, adding in different payment methods. So there's a lot of stuff here on the left, which you're going to be using to navigate through the different pages. So you could change the page background, the images, etc. If we want to go more into the actual hierarchy of the site, getting into what are all the different pages. So for body, for home, about, contact, what are the store pages versus the member pages. This is all really easy to see, and to see the hierarchy of this and how we'd go about changing this. So this can be a little bit overwhelming for some people. If you feel like this direct tutorial is too overwhelming, when you went back and created the store, you could just answer some of these questions, and that'll kind of help with the onboarding process there. Now, I want to get into some of the basic settings that you can go through here through the site, and then we can get into some of the other options. So some of the other stuff I just want to here is you can very quickly change. You can see what would this site look like if we were to select the mobile version. How would that change the look and the feel of the site? So if this was to be viewed on our cell phone, it would basically look like this. And this is really helpful because you don't want to be constantly checking your phone versus your browser. This will show you what the online store would look like if you were browsing it from a mobile site. You can also quickly preview this. So you can see what this is going to look like if you want to, when it comes to a preview. So this would be a preview mode. It just erases all the other stuff. You can really quickly see what this is going to look like on someone's mobile site, or sorry, on someone's smartphone rather. This is very useful and something that I would recommend doing and previewing as you're going about your project. Now, the first thing I would recommend doing is grabbing the domain of the actual company that you're starting, because the domain name is almost tantamount to the name of your products, right? You need the domain in order to send people there when they're doing a Kickstarter campaign or you're launching a product in the other way. Connect your domain name. You can do that here very easily, and you can connect that to your online store. So when people select things like, I want to learn more about the Ab Machine 2000, they're going to come across your store. So make sure you connect the domain name. You can also then start to customize some of this other stuff like your business info, your social media share links. If you want to have a team that helps you edit and manage the site, you can do roles and permissions, tracking, accessibility, all this kind of stuff would be found there. This dashboard is more in line with what you would see on Shopify, right? So Shopify kind of automatically brings you into the dashboard when you get started. The Wix dashboard, that only really happens as you start to get a little bit more into the customization. So the dashboard is where you would view things like the store products, some of the orders that you're getting on the store, the management of the customers, marketing and SEO. So what is it going to look like? The store in search engines, settings, etc. So let's start here with some of the settings, and I'll show you what that looks like when this loads. So with the settings, first of all, your business email, payments that you're selecting, general info, connecting your domain name, what is your site name? All this is very, bare bones kind of stuff that you need. And also, do you want to show your website and get that traction from Google? Do you want to have Google to be able to analyze and crawl your site? That would all be in the settings there. We could get more into marketing and SEO, and we could customize how this is going to appear in Google. So, this is known as search engine optimization, customizing the titles, customizing things like the images, social share icons. You can go all through that if you want to. You can set up automated emails, make promo videos. These are all just good. I think if you don't know anything about e-commerce, this could be a really great place to get started. It's a little bit beyond the scope of today's video. You can look into the products. So the products are the second thing that I would recommend getting started with, right? So Typically, if you're setting up a new online store, the first step is gather all of your assets together in one place. And by assets, I mean videos, photos, anything related to the products. Gather all of that in one place, and then you can very easily start to upload this on your page here, and it'll just be a lot simpler than if you're just doing this one by one. Internet might kite out, like it just gets kind of annoying. So just gather all of your assets, upload them all. That'll be very quickly for that work process. Next, you're going to want to get into the products. So with the products, naturally the images, the pricing, are they in stock or not? What is the description of the product? These kinds of things. We want to add a new product. Very simple. Just go here. We click a physical product. Most of my audience is creating physical products, so we definitely should be going there. Actually, I probably wouldn't use Wix too much either for digital products unless it's something that accompanies a physical product. But you can go here, you can title the product, upload the image, upload the video. What collection is this a part of? You have the name, price, is it on sale or not? What is the description? If you want to, you could have it be the fulfillment provider there, all this kind of stuff, inventory tracking, and you could also create a subscription, like a subscription box if you want to, and that would be done here within your account. And finally, you could also, edit SEO settings and all this kind of stuff, and this would allow you to then create a whole new product. What I like about Wix is it kind of autofills a lot of this information. For example, they give you some, dummy products that you could just easily customize and get a sense of what it would look like. Now, collections are a little different. They're basically collections of products. It's a way of segmenting your products. For example, the way it's done here is all products for the body, for the home. Think of collections as like categories, essentially. So if something's going to be for your home, you might have a collection there. You might have a collection for in the evening. You might have a collection for, aromatherapy or something like that if you're doing this kind of a site. So these collections are going to help to organize your different products so that it's easy for your customers to find what it is that they are looking for. In addition, from the dashboard of Wix, you can go and look at the different store orders. Now, the store orders are going to be real-time orders of people who are buying the products, and they will show up here. It shows you, basically the people that are purchasing and also the people that are looking to purchase, but for whatever reason, they abandon their cart. This is another option here, abandon cart. So abandoning their cart, they go through the whole process, they give their name and email, and for whatever reason, they just don't go through the whole process. Maybe they got busy or they got sidetracked. You could have abandoned carts, and you could reach out to those people and say, hey, I noticed you abandoned your cart. Do you have any questions, or can we address any concerns or any things that are holding you back from, taking the next step? You can address that, and you can increase the overall order value of your Shopify, your Wix store, whatever online store you're trying to do. Now, to do this, you will have to upgrade your account. E-commerce is something that's a little bit more premium when it comes to store creation because you are making money, obviously, with the store. If you're doing something simple, like just a standard website, you might not need to do that, basically. But we're going to go here. So some of the other stuff like customer management. This is a great tool for you if you're going to have lots and lots of customers and you don't want to have to keep track of everyone with Excel spreadsheets. You could import all of your existing contacts if you have an offline store, or you can add them individually if you want to, if you just have a couple. But this will eventually basically list out all of the customers that you have, the list. And if you need to, you can figure out who is it that's having an issue. If you need to go in there and need to figure that out, or you need to reach out to people individually for some reason, maybe there was a mess up with their order. You could very easily do that by looking into the customer list. You see their phone, email, address, if you are collecting that kind of data, when they were last active. This is really valuable because it saves so much time on your part as an e-commerce store owner. And also you can import other people to become a member of your site and help you manage your online store, which will save you a heck of a lot of time, in the long run of things. So these are the main items that I wanted to go over. I think that these different items are so important, and even things like tracking just the orders that you have, and tracking what stage of order, and tracking the customers, who is your most frequent buyer, how much money are you making per month, how much profit are you making per month. All of this stuff is so valuable because it literally decides whether or not you stay in business. Most businesses fail because they can't figure out this kind of stuff. They can't figure out what customers, what is the average order value, where are these people coming from, those kinds of questions. And you get all of this with Wix, which is, I think, really great. Also, another good alternative to Wix is Shopify. I got another great tutorial out there on YouTube on Shopify. So I hope that this was at least helpful, giving you just a cursory idea of what goes into setting up a Wix store and how simple this is to get started. And it's really just customization and kind of like filling in a template that is already there for you. So you have absolutely no reason not to get started on this. If you've been putting off your online store, there's no reason not to get started. Really easy to do. And also, if you need help, if you want me to help you one-on-one, that's something we can discuss. You can always book a one-on-one consultation with me. My specialty is marketing and sales and how to generate revenue online. You know, when it comes to that, most of my success in the past 8 years has been in the crowdfunding industry. Crowdfunding is intimately tied with e-commerce. So many of my clients have gone on to build really big e-commerce brands, which is amazing. So this is just an integral part, I think, in general, when it comes to being an entrepreneur and understanding this and have a firm grasp of e-commerce. So this is something that is so much easier nowadays than when I got started, 8 years ago. It's so much cheaper nowadays than when I got started. And finally, it's really a no-brainer. Like, you can do all this stuff and just plug in this functionality, get some stuff together. You can have a site up in no time. You could do this in a weekend. No reason not to get started. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Come subscribe to this YouTube channel for more tutorials just like this. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I hope that this was helpful. Again, my name is Salvador Briggman, and I will see you next time.